Today, we're going to be going over leads, technology, and loans training. And the reason I'm saying it like that is because if I actually try to do a deep dive on any of these things, it'll be pretty tough. I could probably talk to you for the next 4 hours about leads and your approach to leads. And so, when you are coming to these trainings, what I'm trying to do is give you bits and pieces that you can work on so that once we get to the point where we have all these pieces in place, it makes it a little bit easier. What's really challenging about this job I'm currently working in is that there are a lot of different opinions as to what the Neo experience should be or the Neo way is. And a lot of people are doing things in a different way. So what I'm trying to do is create the voice of the Neo experience and thereby kind of creating a voice for Neo, meaning not Neo as one business leader sees it or one branch manager sees it, but Neo as a company itself. And that was not something that we had a lot of build out around before. Some of you were using Art of Home Ownership, where there was some Neo experience stuff. But what we're genuinely trying to do right now is create this pathway where somebody knows you for you and knows what Neo is and knows what Neo stands for. And your realtors have an absolute understanding and expectation for what is going to happen and why it is so tremendously important in this day and age to work with a company like Neo. So we need to make sure that all of that is kind of clarified. And I wanted to share with you guys something that's really, really important to remember. This platform is 11 weeks old. I say that to you because, and I put this quote here too, which is expectation feeds frustration. It's an unhealthy attachment to people, things, and outcomes we wish we could control but don't. If you have been on any training with me, then you know that no one could possibly be more frustrated in their daily job than I am because I too want it to be different. I too want it to be faster and better. And by that, I mean it's very challenging when you have built advanced technology platforms and you're starting from the ground up again. The things that you get frustrated about are the same thing I get frustrated about. And so today, I just wanted to acknowledge two things. One is that we definitely want the future fast, but we are also all in the situation we're just currently in, right? Which is that we're starting something new together. And I have to remember that when I talk to our vendor partners, I have to remember that they didn't do it at this high level the whole time. They're being really day by day led into making their platform stronger so that it can support what we're doing. If you think we do not have someone in the tech stack who fully understands that just associating with us in the current matrix tech stack and the skill set that we have there is doing for their business, I'm here to tell you, ask any vendor partner of ours. Maybe not HomeBot, but then again, I have a meeting next week, so we'll see how they feel then. And I want to make sure you know this. We are not building a CRM. If your approach to this platform is one where you think the job is to just slap somebody on a campaign and let them know, what's happening throughout the loan process, I would encourage you to go back and use Jungo, because that's a CRM, and that is as much as it is and will ever be. This is a very different approach. You're going to start seeing that more and more and more. As we rolled out the Neo Realtor experience this week, what did we talk about? We didn't talk about slap somebody on a campaign. We talked about make the list of the 10 people 10 real estate agents you want to work with in your area. Send them a personalized video saying, I really admire you. We haven't worked together yet, but I just wanted to let you know, like, I follow you in social media and I see the way you're growing your business. I know it's a tough time out there. I just wanted to take a minute and say, you know, we're all in it together. And I'd love to meet you for lunch someday. This isn't a pitch. I really like learning from smart people. Just simple strategies to get you in front of people that you haven't met before, putting them into the Neo experience for realtor campaign, following them in social media, coming up with these various solutions. But if you think that the loan officer of the future is armed with a CRM and like their good looks and skills, I genuinely beg you to understand that not only this isn't a theory that I have. This isn't a maybe. I built the most advanced platform in mortgage that I had for years and years that I use. I don't have it today, but that's where we're going. So I just want to make sure that you know when you're saying to yourself, gosh, ADM is slow or this or that, that's just one component. Yes, it's the engine. Yes, I wish every day was flowers and roses, but it's not. And when you're doing this kind of thing, you have to remember that my goal for you is for this machine to become the machine that will dominate your business in 24. I'm putting the pieces of that together right now. But how do we take this system and create something that really delivers this Neo ethos, right? The CRM is just the reminder hub. It's just the brain. And the brain is only as smart as the information that goes into it. The social connections being centralized in one place, the imagining of what a contact record can be. I like I said to you before, if you've ever heard me sort of expound on this, I highly doubt that it will take me that long to create our own user interface where all of our technologies are in one spot. And this is what we have the ability to do just once we have the time, money, and personnel to put behind it. It's not easy when you're just 11 weeks old and you're just starting to sort of ramp up, but making sure that you're connected with people on social media, making sure that you're doing the social listening that you need in order to really create strong conversations. And we're going to talk a little bit about that later. Making sure that those CSMs are in the solution that you're in so they can actually leave you notes and tell you things about that customer and bring more referrals, not only to you, but to your referral partners, because that's part of what we're kind of selling and planning. Making sure that your professional sphere actually has connection or a portal to this technology you have, making sure that everything can be co-branded, even with financial planners, although that is a compliance nightmare, but making sure that we are really able to say to people, here are the tools that we have. Run this by your compliance department. If they want to use FinLocker, let's make this happen together. Making sure you have data-led opportunities. No one wants me going down that road. Making sure that if we're really solid about going after financial planners, let's put together the same amount of strategies that we have around realtors, making sure that we all have the CMPS, making sure we can sell our expertise based on that. And then what do customers actually need? Individual customer profiles are going to be so insanely important because it's not just in the future, it's not going to be about, hey, Bob, my real estate agent sent me a text that I need to call Joe. That's not real. That's not how life is going to be in the future. We're going to know so much about that referral, right? That's what we need to do. We need to come up with those ideas. So we're also going to be doing a ton of recruiting tools, onboarding tools. We're going to be taking your entire Neo marketing hub and marrying it in with this system. Meaning you can send any flyers, anything you want to any of your agents, any of your financial planners. You wait to see what's going to happen. And honestly, that's not even that far off. That's only like a week or two away. And then just delivering on all the things that we say that we're going to do and putting them in one spot. Now, the right-hand side seems insane. I totally get that, but it's all going to be super possible as long as we're all focused on the goal. I just want to let you guys know because I feel like it's so important that we talk about these things. Like, because it's impossible when you're somebody like me, especially me, I have no patience whatsoever for the amount of time this stuff takes. And it's only because I used to have it at my fingertips and it drives me insane. So I ask the same questions that you do. So I make sure that when I'm anxious about something or I have frustrations about something, that we're all on the same page because we're a team. What we need to do is really work with our partners to build out the platforms the way we want them. Now, we're doing that right now with ADM. We're doing that right now with FinLocker. We're making sure that FinLocker is able to be co-branded in August. That was something they didn't even have on the roadmap. We want to make sure that we are taking things out of the tech stack that are unnecessary or they're duplications. We want to make sure that we are truly able to give this experience that we keep selling. Obviously, we need people to do that. We need to work with you guys to do that. And we can't be afraid to fail. I'm not afraid to tell you that it's not been what I wanted, or that people haven't made mistakes, or that ADM has been fantastic. I'm not here to sell you on any of that. I'm just here to tell you that I'm not afraid. I'm not scared to be uncomfortable. I'm super brave when it comes to this, because let me tell you right now, this is a special company. If it wasn't a special company, I wouldn't work here. I promise you that. This is a special company with a special mission. And I'm not, believe me, I'm in sales, kids. I know how to do that spiel, but I'm not here to spiel you. I'm never going to spiel you on that. But there's only two lanes of the future. Humbly, I will tell you that. I believe that. And I'm not, I don't have a crystal ball, but I'm super good at this part. When you think about the roads that are ahead, there are two roads, which is we are going to serve you at the highest level and be hyper relevant to your financial goals, or you're going to go and push a button and get a cheap mortgage. There is probably not going to be a ton of in between. So the cream of the crop is rising to the top right now, as we know, because people who cannot hack it or do not have the support are not in the industry anymore. And the people who are still here, you guys are soldiers. You guys are such soldiers, and that's awesome. Because if I can get people who are aligned behind this concept that we serve at a higher level, we can sell it all day long. Now, is it great going up against people right now selling it? Of course it's not. Nothing is great right now. I totally hear you. But that is, where we will be. When you think about the way that the customer experience goes, what we really want is for that customer to genuinely feel like we hear them and understand where they are in their life. What we are selling is something that serves the customer and is in their best interest. We do that through really having conversations about their future goals. We structure that loan to provide the value, and then we coach them about their future equity strategies, right? That's what we're promising. We're going to close their loan with customer retainment and long-term data monitoring. We're going to promise them we're going to do that, and then we're going to deliver on equity strategies based on data. We are going to align them with a dream team of professionals to support their financial objectives. Now, that is a very art of home ownership idea, but it is not something that Ryan Grant and I disagree on. We have always agreed on that. This concept that you should have the people in your life aligned like a dream team. And the only way we can do that is to ask them those questions. Let me talk to your divorce attorney. Let me talk to your financial planner. Then giving really valuable messages about how their wealth is growing and how to maintain their equity. If you think that newsletters are stupid because you think that you're going to chat GPT something that's going to be really timely every month and then tell them that the rates are high and that there's no inventory and that's somehow supposed to stir their soul, I really hope that you'll give the newsletters a second look, because they truly are meant to be valuable messaging about how we're always looking out for them. Good marketing is artful. Good marketing isn't slapping people in the face with reality. Okay. People really want to believe that you're out there looking out for their best interest. And then making sure that the customer has one place where they can go to access the things that are really important to them, right? Homebinder and the FinLocker app, the Neo Experience app, that data is combined, but really, what if we combine all of it? What if somebody has a place that they can go, a hub that they can go, where they can see their HomeBot report, where they can see all of their partners, where they can see their financial planner and their CPA, where all of these people are connected, where you're connected with those people. And when they want to make a decision or they need a referral from you on a CPA, you have the ability like this, like a click of a finger, to be able to offer them opportunities to have this group of people aligned behind them. So if that sounds like a CRM, it is definitely not. I use this a lot of the times. I'm not going to go over this because but it's always going to be such an incredibly important pillar of what you do. Because as you know right now, this used to be how it all worked, right? You got referrals from your real estate agents. You were buying leads with your real estate agents. You were buying leads from Zillow, whatever it was. You were paying someone to get you leads. And then data, your own database strategy. So it used to be important in that order: referrals, leads, data. Now you're seeing a complete switch, right? So now we're telling you we have to build up the data side so that you can be the ones that give the referrals. Will there be leads again? Of course there's going to be leads again. There just aren't right now, but there will be in the future. But keep in mind, I'm concentrating on all three of those pillars at all times. So please understand that I'm always looking out for exactly this. So, where do your leads come from right now? Such an important question, right? We are finishing up the Simple Nexus integration. Now, that may not seem like a big deal to you, but it is definitely going to be a big deal. Any sort of engagement that you have on that Simple Nexus app should be something that we are analyzing. Now, this is the very beginning. Integration's the very beginning of the relationship. But keep in mind at all times, I don't care what the tech does. I don't care what it does. I genuinely don't care. Like, great. Can we build it out more? Sure. Can we personalize it more? Okay. Can we make it, jump through hoops and sit for a biscuit? Maybe. But at the same time, I care about the data. I want to know, what are people confused about? What do they see? What is our experience like? The consumer experience is the only thing that's important. So right now, we're going through that integration. You're going to hear about it next week. And then we're going to be able to pick up things that happen, abandoned applications, put them on a special campaign, really just kind of figure out how we can use that data partner best. Your website is also a place where you're going to get leads, whether that is through an application on your website, whether that is through the Neo Experience page into one of those campaigns that's going to automatically assign, or if they're going to sign up for HomeBot or HomeBinder right from your website. They have the ability to do that. They also can come through your contact page. So make sure that you know that, because if you're not looking inside these systems, you may miss the fact that you have leads. Your customer success manager can also get you leads from their follow-up calls. You can get agent referrals. You can get leads in social media, especially if you're really answering questions and really engaging an audience on something. You can get it from database mining, and you can get it from the various texts that we use. So right now, you really have to know that all of those places are places we could potentially get leads from. It's really the approach to the lead that is so important. And it is why right now I have a 33-page document that I have been working on for the last 3 weeks that is all of the lead strategies, right? I got a referral. They didn't call me back. I tried really hard. I tried to sell them on the Neo experience, try to get them involved. I never heard back from them. I made sure the referral partner knew. I told the referral partner to put us on a group text. Wait until you see the strategies that we're going to put in play. Somebody came to me, they started an application, they abandoned the application. How do we get them re-engaged with understanding that filling out that application is the next step on their path to home ownership? So all of the lead strategies are happening now. All the nurture strategies are currently in there, and now it's lead time. But if there was ever a time for you guys to understand the growing power of your database, it is certainly now. Let's assume, just for sake of argument, let's assume that from right now until the spring of 24, we're kind of in the same zone. Okay, we're kind of getting beat up on, right? There's no inventory. We got this problem. If your job was to create and curate better relationships with people who have trusted you, you're going to be in a better place. So we want to make sure that we're understanding why it's so important to do that. But we have to understand how how relationships start, right? They start at you meeting a person. So whether that is you meet someone at, golf who says to you, "Hey, I'm really interested in buying an investment property," Or if you get a referral from a real estate agent, the first thing that you have to do is introduce this lead to the environment, right? So who is this person? How do we figure out who this person is? Are you going to have that initial phone call with them? What is going to happen? But we don't know anything about a referral when it comes over. Unless it's a lead that we have, we really don't know much about them at all. So two, how do we connect? How do we build that relationship? How do we start that thing going? Do we have a conversation first? Are you calling them on the phone? Are you connecting in social? Like, what is your absolute purpose with what happens next? Some of you have different ideas, but there has to be a connection point. And then you have to listen and learn who this lead is. What does this lead need? And this lead can be anything. Keep in mind, referral from the website, whatever. This can even be a professional referral, professional lead. But the key is, who is this person and how can I tell the machine what they're eventually going to need? If this is a lead that's looking for a home, at that point, you likely are going to schedule that hopes and dreams call. And then you're going to be able to take them after that call and determine, how can I nurture this relationship based on the data they just gave me? So that's where you see the lead strategy flow right into the nurture strategy. I'm going to show you how to do that in just a second. And then once that happens, then we'll let the campaigns talk to them about the Neo Experience app, but you should have that conversation too. They'll already be on a campaign. If you're using Mortgage Coach, that's the point at which you're going to come in and really give them the scenarios, to really understand what they need. Now that right there, that's your contract time, right? That little bubble right there is all of that contract. Then it goes into the in-process workflow when you guys are going, when it's in process, we're sending out really great stuff. Your team's doing a good job. Hopefully we don't have that many hurdles. They're getting introduced to Updater right now to explain to them how they should be preparing for that move. You're going to be talking to them throughout, and then when they get to the end, they're going to get the home binder information so they can make sure that they have that safe move. And then they're going to enter into a follow-up and data equity strategy plan. That's what the newsletter is. That's where Sales Boomerang is going to come in. The Neo Experience app is also going to let them constantly use that throughout their life to manage those finances. But we're following up. The CMS is following up. Experience.com is following up. Let's find out how we did in that transaction. Let's make sure we definitely know. If anything bad has happened, let's let the CSM handle that. And then we're checking in on them, making sure we have those data-led updates, making sure we're working with that group of specialists, and then looking for refi or passive income opportunities for those individuals. That, my friends, is how we do the business. Do I think that that's the end all be all of the tech stack? I don't. I don't know how many times I can possibly tell you I don't. Do I think it's going to get better and better? Sure, it does every week, I hope. Gosh, that's my goal for it. But this is really what we can be doing. What does it look like? Really, it looks like this, right? So the lead comes in, we're going to introduce them to the FinLocker, the Neo Experience app. You're going to have that call. ADM and Automator are backing you up to make sure the marketing is done. You have that contract meeting, or you have the pre-approval details, then you have the contract meeting. As the loan goes to processing, that's where we're going to be introducing that updater that happens at RESPA and Reg Z disclosures. It's going through having really good information, and then we're introducing home binder right here, right at doc signing, and then smooth closing, give that experience.com, and we automatically put them in HomeBot. The reason I want to show you this slide is, kids, genuinely, when you look at this, I want to let you know we're probably taking Updater out of the stack because HomeBinder is going to replace them. So it's going to be even better to have one tech instead of two. But almost all of this is kind of managed for you. You see you kind of in blue, like you're having these meetings and stuff, but everything else should be sending out for you. And I want to make sure that you understand, because sometimes I hear feedback like, oh, I feel like I'm so far behind. And I think, no, friends, you're not far behind. We want to automate all of this for you. We want this customer journey to be something that's click and play. That's 100% what we're going after. So this couple wants to buy a house. What do? It's the same concept, but I'm going to go walk through it with you here. Find out what they need. You can do that using the new lead campaigns that are coming out in a couple weeks. Have their hopes and dream calls and assign them to their nurture campaign. Encourage them to sign up for the Neo Experience app. And then you're going to send them their mortgage coach. Once the house is under contract, we go. Post closes, CSM and HomeBot, and then data newsletter and data opportunities. Did I just tell you the same thing in 3 slides? I totally did. But sometimes we like to see them on shorter slides. When I talk to you about the lead campaigns that are coming, I think there's 10, 9 or 10. I don't even know. It's horrifying. Right now, you can definitely use that right here, the lead follow-up. If a customer did not apply for a loan, oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Don't listen to me. You can always use the purchase lead campaign. I'm looking at the wrong thing. Purchase lead campaign is nobody knows it's purchase lead. It's just a lead campaign. We just always assigned it for purchase leads, and that's why it's called that. We can change the name of it certainly, but because I'm putting so many new lead campaigns out, there's no purpose to updating all of your ADM accounts. So right now, use purchase leads. That is literally you saying, hey, I would like to connect, making sure this is the right number for you. Hey, is there a good time to connect? I would love to have a conversation. You can definitely use that for right now. You only want to use the lead campaign while someone is considered a lead, right? So basically, a lead is somebody we don't know anything about. Then we want to put them into curation, and all the rest of these campaigns are curation. This is for after you have the conversation and you know what kind of buyer you have. Because so many people had so many different processes for so long, the reason that it starts really with the I already know this is because there's no way to simplify lead intake. But now we're going to simplify lead intake. We're going to give you all the opportunities and hopefully, by the grace of God, also automate most of those things from happening. You know, you have a new lead from your real estate agent. You put that person in the system and you put them on the referral contact campaign, and it thanks the realtor, tells them what you're about to do. It reaches out to the customer. I'm happy to show you what that looks like because I have all those docs. And then we're going to change the rest of these around completely, right? So this is a enormous endeavor, what I'm showing you, but it's absolutely what's going to happen as we move forward. The reason why we want to always kind of harp on this idea of get someone the Neo Experience app, I actually literally don't care where you get someone. I just want to make sure they're part of your database for life. So I want to make sure that if you're talking to somebody on, let's just say you're out and about and you meet somebody, it's really easy to give them this tool to get them involved in your database, where it may not be as simple to do anything else. Like if you ask them for their name and number, like, you may not remember to call them, but this is a way we can trap them in there, right? Same with HomeBot. Hey, do you want to know how much your house is worth? Let me have your information. We'll put you in HomeBot. These are, for lack of a better word, traps. Okay, call them data traps. And that's really what we want. We want a way to hook somebody into your environment that's simplified, right? So you can tell people like, hey, listen, this is an outstanding app. It's totally private. If you're moving, it's awesome. Even if you're not moving, it's awesome. It's a way to see where your credit is. Get a good answer on that. It's a good place to have all of your home maintenance tools and everything for your house. It is your house's app. It's really how you manage your money and finances when it comes to owning real estate. And then we want to make sure that we're connecting with them. You guys see this all the time. We want to make sure that we have a strategy built around each and every lead, right? So we're in the lead campaign. They are going to have the opportunity to get an email, a text message, be taken over to your website for application. That's nothing compared to what's going to happen. I want to give you all the social media tools that you need to reach out. There's going to be tons of stuff that's going to happen in the future. We just need to have time to build all that stuff in, but we want to make sure we're going to hit them and clobber them wherever they go. Wait till I start talking to you about retargeting. We're at step 2. There's a lot more steps ahead. What I want you to always remember is I'm not relying upon you to do anything beyond your job, and make sure that this lead gets into our environment. Ideally, that would happen by putting them in ADM and assigning them to a campaign. Once they're on a campaign, we are going to be handling the thank yous to the referral partners, marketing to those agents, marketing to the buyers, making sure that they feel like they can trust you, like there's a reason to be loyal to you, making sure that they have the best communication strategy throughout the loan process. If you are not doing any loans right now, chances are you don't know what's happening there. But if you are doing loans, you know full well the kind of feedback you're starting to get from that communication strategy. And then that plays for CSM notes. I know that that probably seems dumb, but I think if we really are focused and aligned behind making sure that we are working with as customer success managers, I just genuinely believe that the more information and data that we have on conversations about successes, failures, hurdles, whatever it is, creates the best avatar for the future. Okay. Because 2 years from now, all this deck is going to look like a joke, because what we're going to be able to say is, holy crap. In 2023, Kelly was blathering on about how this stuff would be important, but here I am, it's 2025, and I've got a Rolodex of loans. That's what you'll have, because people will have been involved with you. The trust is built, and then you have the data to back it up. You don't have to go around pleading for referrals when you are your best referral source. The communication strategy that goes out as that lead goes through, right? So it's lead campaign, figure out what they need, put them on a nurture campaign. Once they go under contract, everything from that point on, every bit of communication is really handled in the background. You still need to have the conversations about, their CD, the important stuff that you need. Your team still needs to be reaching out, but give me a hot second and let me get your processors and your loan coordinators into the system. Right? Let's all be on one little thing where we're all talking about what we need, where the communication strategy is obvious and we're all sending things out of the same place. So you don't ever have to ask somebody again, hey, where are we with this? Because you know where we are with this. You know what your pipeline is doing. Probably there's two things I miss about the system I built before. Certainly, one of them has to be the loan sort of dashboard we used to have, because it was the communication strategy already. I would show it to you, but you cry, and I would probably cry. And so let's keep our tears, okay? Because we'll get dehydrated. And the other thing is just the intuitive marketing, right? And that's something I'm actually just going to be able to build into an AI sort of model, right? This person has this lead, I know has XXXXX as data. When you think of lead strategy, you probably think about different things, but like genuinely, not to like be ridiculous, but by the time you tell the system the lead's name and email address and phone number, I should be able to tell you so much data on that person before you pick up the phone. We should be able to tell you their revolving debt, their basic credit score, the ages of their children, where they currently buy a house, almost the ability to tell you the worthiness of the lead in general. Or if there is not a really smart sort of strategy to have for that first conversation, based on the data that you have, what is the strategy that we would come up with for finding business in that lead, right? So hypothetically, let's think about it like this. You have somebody come over, they want to do an investment property. You find out that they have, a house that they already own. They have $50,000 in debt. They have $400,000 in equity. That is a different conversation than the one you would have picking up the phone and going, hey, John, heard you want to buy an investment property. So that's what's happening. That's the kinds of things that we're going to be putting together. If you guys want to know how to use these tools, that's what we keep giving you, all of the things in the world to use them. But please know you don't have to do that. I'm going to bet dollar to donuts here that my conversation with HomeBot next week is going to be real interesting. What I want to know from HomeBot is, why do I have to go to HomeBot to find anything out? Why do I have to, if I have some new home buyer and they're involved in HomeBot, why do I need to go there to find the information out? Why can I create the avatar using the data they have? Think about that in every single scenario for every single one of our tech vendors. That's really what I want to do for the whole thing. When it comes to the realtor marketing, I do want to touch on this today, because I think that this is just such an imperative part of business. I genuinely hope that you understand that no one could possibly be more respectful of the relationships that you're trying to curate than I am when it comes to your realtor marketing. I've been doing this for a long time. Realtors absolutely adore me. I don't know why. I Every single thing we build is meant to make you proud. Is it going to be perfect for you every single time? No. John from Iowa, it's not. No. Bob from Boston, it's not. It's not always going to be perfect. They can't possibly be perfect for your market, but it's going to be really, really good. And there are so many different ways that you can do that. I was part of a leadership call this week. I'm probably going to get in trouble for this, but I get in trouble for everything. So really, who cares? Um, and one of the leaders said, like, oh, one of my people, they're really investing a lot of time in their ADM. And I was like, well, you need to be making calls, and you need to be like, calling up, your referral partners. And I just kind of sat there, and it was fine. It was good feedback, and I was understanding what he was saying. And the thing that I had to say was, that's absolutely what people are doing in ADM. You just don't know because you probably aren't doing the same kind of thing. Inside ADM, inside Matrix are all of the tools that you need in order to get referrals from your realtor partners. But if you're just picking up the phone and calling Johnny Q, realtor, and just being like, oh, hey, I'm every single loan officer in the world right now calling your phone, they get it. Okay. And that's great to call them. But what is the strategy from there? How are you going to get them to start working with you? Hopefully, what you're doing is you're having that conversation, and then you're saying, listen, I want to send some really good information for you. And then you put them on the Neo Experience campaign. And then you start talking to them about how they can build their business with you, what one loan is going to look like, how you're going to show them the difference of Neo. Put them on campaigns, because all you're doing, if you just know people, you're not teaching them, you're not giving them the tools that they need. The weekly Realtor Review is meant to build their business. The Neo Experience campaign for realtors is meant to build your combined business. We want to make sure that we're giving them the same tools we have. Now, imagine it's 3 months from now, and we have it dialed in where everything we offer, your agent offers too. It's co-branded, it's coming from both of you, and you are a team behind the databases that you have, because that's 100% the thing that's being built. And it's not just for new agents. It's not just for current agents. It's not just for financial planners. But as you're having these meetings and as you're talking to these people, know that there are tools available. Again, are they perfect? No. Is it what I want you to like? Is this something that I'm like, oh my God, this is the proudest, most pinnacle moment of my life? No. But we have to work with what we have for a hot minute before we get to the future of what we're doing. And something is definitely better than nothing. And I assure you that even if it's not perfect, it's good. And so make sure that you are making a commitment to yourself. Prospecting takes 30 minutes a day. There should never be a time that you don't have that time blocked in your calendar. And there are so many tools that you can use. There's so many different strategies and scenarios I'll be able to show you how to use once rates aren't this high. That's one of the challenges we have, is like, I can tell you where the opportunity lies, but there's no opportunity. So that's really challenging. When rates are lower, you're going to be like, holy crap, these are opportunities. I'll be like, yeah, dude, I know. So we're just going to keep personalizing, making it easier. This has been an absolute labor of love to create for you the Matrix Tech Stack site, but we know, we get it. We understand how complicated it can be because there's just so many resources, and it's why we built you Intercom. Intercom is by far the most important business tool that I have ever had at my disposal. And this is the very first you're going to hear about a lot of this, because honestly, if I had it my way, we'd have it as part of the entire Neo ecosystem. The reason that it is so important is because our team is right here. We're right next to you. When you send us a message, it goes directly into our inbox and you're directly talking to one of our team members. Not only that, we are able to build out a library of content that you will see when you click here, that you'll be able to say, hey, I want to work on my realtors. What do I have to do that? Here's every single thing you can do with your realtors. You'll be able to search for things easily, but that actually, neither of those things is actually why I love it. I love it because I'm going to be able to teach bots how to answer you. And I know that that probably seems impersonal to you, and it shouldn't. I want to make sure that when you ask a question, you have exactly what you need in order to do business with that person in about 10 seconds. There's nothing more important to me than getting you the most information as fast as I can. So if you think about something like the loan scenario desk, and something like this, you see where I'm going with this? If we can give the machine enough information to help you make decisions, it's just a game changer. But you can start just by going over the Matrix Tech Stack and just saying hi. This is also our support system, period, right? So even when you email us, that's where it's going to go. So you can always just run over there and just click a little message to us, and then you don't even have to worry about emailing us. I know that that was so much information, and I hope some of it was practical, but I thought that what we really genuinely needed to understand was, how does this technology ping? Where does technology start and stop? Where does my effort start and stop? And your efforts absolutely are so imperative to get more human beings into your database, to understand the human beings who are in your database, but most assuredly to make sure that you know that there are so many resources for building professional B2B strategies. And that when you're prospecting for business from realtors, that there are strategies that you can have and deploy to get them to do more business with you. And if you have a new customer or a referral that comes over, our only goal is to meet that person with so much great information on the channel that they want, whether that is via email, via text. We want to make sure that we're supporting them with everything we have. So that's why I kind of wanted to go over this today with you guys. It's like I said, it's not hyper practical. I didn't go A plus B equals C, but I wanted to show you how all this technology is going to work in the future.